Have you ever watched your father, your uncle, or even your husband slowly start to wake up 3, 4, sometimes 6 times a night just to use the bathroom? At first, you might laugh it off. He's just getting old, you think? But then the nights get longer. He starts to avoid long journeys, skips family events, even hesitates to go out at all because he's constantly searching for the nearest toilet. And that proud man, who once never needed help, starts to look tired, frustrated, maybe even ashamed. Now here's the question. What if that wasn't just old age? What if nature had already given us tools, real, simple, natural tools, to help shrink the prostate and bring back a sense of ease, confidence, and comfort? And what if those tools were right there, in your fruit basket? Let's be honest, prostate issues are one of those things nobody talks about until it's almost too late. But do you know what hurts the most? It's not just the discomfort. It's the silence. The way our fathers and husbands suffer quietly, thinking this is just how the rest of their life will be. But what if we flip the script? What if, instead of waiting for prescriptions or tests or surgeries, we looked at what we feed our loved ones every single day? Because the truth is, some fruits are more than just sweet treats. They're medicine, powerful, healing gifts from nature that science is only just starting to fully understand. And today, I want to walk with you. Not as a doctor, not as some health guru in a lab coat, but as a friend, someone who truly cares about our elders, about our fathers, about your husband's peace of mind. Because they deserve better. They deserve more than just suffering in silence. So stick with me. In this video, I'll show you 5 incredibly powerful fruits, yes, just fruits, that don't just taste good, but have been shown to help shrink the prostate and relieve some of those frustrating symptoms. And listen, number 5 is so underrated, so overlooked, you might have walked past it 100 times in the market without realizing just how powerful it really is. So, before we dive in, do me a small favor. If you believe that our elders deserve natural, respectful care, if you believe aging should never mean discomfort, embarrassment, or fear, then comment "I care" below. Let's build a community that uplifts and informs. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Thriving Oldies. This is where we talk honestly, lovingly, and clearly about the issues that truly matter as we age. Now, are you ready to see what's been hiding in plain sight all along? Let's get started. Let me take you back to fruit number 1, because this one, right here, has been quietly saving lives in the background for decades. I want you to meet Mr. James, 76 years old, a retired teacher, lived in a quiet part of town, and every morning, before the sun got too hot, he'd slip on his gardening gloves and walk into the backyard. That little patch of soil was his pride and joy. He grew all sorts of things: peppers, basil, onions. But the one thing that never failed him? Tomatoes. Big, red, juicy tomatoes. He'd pluck them gently, slice them into his breakfast, simmer them into soups, even made his own sauce. Now here's the beautiful part. Mr. James didn't know it, but he was doing something powerful for his prostate. He wasn't trying to follow a trend. He didn't read it in a health magazine. He just did what felt right, what tasted good and came straight from the earth. And science? Science eventually caught up with men like him. Because tomatoes are loaded, absolutely loaded, with a compound called lycopene. It's what gives tomatoes that rich, deep red color. But more than that, lycopene is one of the most studied natural antioxidants linked to prostate health. What does it do? Well, lycopene helps reduce oxidative stress in the prostate. It slows down cell growth, meaning it can prevent the prostate from enlarging too quickly, especially in older men. And in some cases, it's been linked to lower PSA levels. That's the blood test that flags prostate inflammation or cancer risk. But here's where most people get it wrong. They assume raw is best. So they slice a tomato on toast and think they've done their job. But that's only half the story. Lycopene is more bioavailable, that means more absorbable, when the tomato is cooked. and even more so when cooked with a little bit of healthy fat, like olive oil. So, that pot of jollof rice with rich tomato stew? That egusi soup with a smooth tomato base? Or even a warm bowl of okra soup simmered with tomato and palm oil? That's not just comfort food. That's therapy. That's healing. You don't need pills. You don't need powders. Just cook your tomatoes. Let the heat unlock their magic. If your elderly father or uncle loves local dishes, this is an easy win. You're not changing his diet, you're just feeding him smarter. And even if they're picky eaters, a spoonful here, a sauce there, it adds up. Lycopene builds up in the tissues over time. And the earlier you start, the better. So the next time you pass by the tomato cellar, don't walk past. Pick the ripest ones. The redder, the better. Because those fruits are more than just ingredients. They're quiet warriors, working behind the scenes to protect what matters. But not all fruits need heat to shine. Some, like our next one, come in cool, sweet slices. Bright pink, juicy, refreshing. It's a fruit your loved ones probably already enjoy, but never realized was doing them a world of good. Let's talk about that one next. Now, let's talk about fruit number 2, and I want you to pause for just a moment and picture this. It's a hot afternoon. You're sitting outside with your loved ones. The sun is blazing, and someone brings out a big bowl of freshly sliced watermelon, juicy, cold, and sweet. That first bite? Pure relief. The kind that cools your tongue, touches your soul, and makes you sigh with happiness. But here's what many people don't know. That simple, refreshing fruit? That watermelon you probably thought was just a summer snack? It's doing something far more powerful beneath the surface. Watermelon contains a compound called citrulline. It might sound like one of those sciencey words that makes your eyes glaze over, but stay with me here. Citrulline helps your body create more nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, believe it or not, is one of your best friends when it comes to blood flow and muscle relaxation, especially around the prostate and bladder. See, when an older man starts having trouble urinating, maybe it's a weak stream, maybe it's dribbling, maybe it's just that frustrating urge that never really goes away. It's often because of restricted blood flow and tight muscles around the urinary tract. But nitric oxide? It helps relax those muscles. It opens things up. It's like giving your body a gentle exhale. And watermelon? It's one of nature's richest sources of citrulline. And here's where it gets interesting. Most people assume watermelon is too sugary for the elderly. I hear it all the time. Ah, daddy has diabetes. Or, mama's sugar is borderline, we avoid sweet fruits. But here's the truth. In moderation, watermelon is more water than sugar. It's over 90% water. It hydrates. It refreshes. It helps flush the system gently, which is exactly what a stressed-out prostate needs. And that natural sweetness? It's not the kind that spikes blood sugar like soft drinks or pastries do. It's clean. It's slow. It's forgiving, especially when paired with fiber-rich foods. So here's a practical tip. Don't just wait for a special occasion to serve watermelon. Make it a mid-morning habit when the body's digestion is strongest. Cut it into cubes. Add a few mint leaves if you like. You can even blend it into a cool smoothie, no sugar added, and serve it chilled. And on days when your elderly loved one feels sluggish, tired, or bloated, try this instead of tea or soda. Let the watermelon do its work gently from the inside out. I want you to hold on to this thought. Watermelon is not just for kids with sticky fingers at parties. It's medicine in disguise. It's nature's way of saying, I see you. I know you're tired. Let me help. But we're not done. Because while watermelon works quietly and steadily, this third fruit we're about to talk about, well, it might shock you. Because people think of it as a garnish, a pretty addition to yogurt, maybe something fancy folks add to cakes. But in the world of prostate care, it's an anti-inflammatory powerhouse dressed in sweet, colorful skin. Let's dive into it next. Now let's talk about something small, but mighty. Fruit number 3, And this one, honestly, doesn't always get the attention it deserves. Because it's not big and showy like watermelon or familiar like tomatoes. It's often tucked away in the corners of grocery shelves, frozen aisles, or specialty markets. But don't let its size fool you. This fruit is a fighter. And the story I'm about to share? It'll show you just how powerful the little things can be. I want you to meet Mr. John. He's 71. Former civil servant. Sharp mind, good sense of humor, but he was getting frustrated. Every night it was the same thing. He'd fall asleep, only to be woken up again and again and again by the urge to pee. 5 times. Sometimes 6. He was exhausted during the day. Irritable. Losing interest in the little things that once brought him joy. His daughter, bless her heart, decided to try something different. She'd been reading up on nutrition, looking for ways to support her dad without stressing him with medication. So one day she just started giving him a small handful of strawberries every morning. Sometimes blueberries. Sometimes both. Mixed into oatmeal. Sprinkled over yogurt. Or just fresh in a bowl with breakfast. Nothing fancy. Just consistent. A few weeks later, Mr. John came to her and said, "You know, I actually slept through the night. And for a man his age, that's no small thing. That's peace. That's rest. That's relief. Now let's break it down. Why did that happen?" Berries, especially strawberries and blueberries, are loaded with something called anthocyanins. That's the natural compound that gives them their deep, vibrant color. They also pack a strong punch of vitamin C. These nutrients are known for their anti-inflammatory and antioxidant powers, which means they go straight to work, calming inflammation, fighting oxidative stress, and creating an environment where the prostate can stay healthy and not overgrow. You see, one of the biggest problems with the prostate as men age is inflammation. The tissues swell, press against the bladder and urethra, and make urination difficult or frequent. But berries? They soothe that fire. Gently. Consistently. They don't cure, but they support. They protect. They heal in the background. Now here's what often stops families from using them. They say, berries? That's Oyinbo food. It's expensive. Where will I even find it? And I get it. Fresh berries can be pricey, depending on where you live. But here's the truth that most people don't know. Frozen berries are just as nutritious. Sometimes even better, because they're frozen right after harvest, locking in their nutrients. You can find them in supermarkets, even in some local shops now. And a little goes a long way. So what can you do? Start small. A handful in pap, custard, oatmeal, or blended into a smoothie. You don't have to change their whole diet. Just add something new. 3 times a week is a great place to begin. Let your loved one grow into the habit. They might even start looking forward to it. A sweet bite in the morning. A touch of color. A small act of care that says, "I see you. I want you well." Because sometimes healing doesn't start in the hospital. Sometimes it starts in the kitchen. And if your loved one enjoys flavors that feel a little more tropical, a little more familiar, then get ready. Fruit number 4 is one they may already love, but probably never realize just how deeply healing it could be. Let's talk about that one next. Now, this next fruit, it's rich, it's creamy, and it's probably already made an appearance on your table, whether you realized its power or not. Let's talk about fruit number 4. The avocado. Let me tell you something fascinating. In rural communities across Mexico, where access to modern healthcare is limited and men rely more on what the land gives them, there's something interesting happening. The rates of prostate problems among elderly men are surprisingly low. No daily medications. No expensive supplements. Just generations of tradition and one quiet, consistent habit. Avocados. These men eat avocados like many of us eat bread. For breakfast, with lunch as a side, in soups, mashed, sliced, or simply eaten raw with a spoon. And here's why it matters. Avocados are rich in a natural compound called beta-sitosterol. It's a plant sterol, kind of like cholesterol, but the good kind. And beta-sitosterol has been shown in studies to do two incredibly important things for older men. 1. It improves urine flow. So, if you know someone who struggles to start the stream, or has to stand and wait, or feels like they're never fully done, beta-sitosterol helps the body release with less effort. And 2. It helps shrink the size of an enlarged prostate over time. Not overnight, not with magic, but slowly, steadily, by reducing inflammation and supporting hormone balance. Now, you might be thinking, but aren't avocados full of fat? And yes, they are, but not the bad kind. These are healthy fats, the kind that reduce inflammation, support the heart, improve brain health, and help carry fat-soluble nutrients like lycopene from tomatoes deeper into the body. Yet somehow, avocados get a bad reputation. Some say they're too rich. Some say they'll make you fat. But here's the truth. For older adults, especially men battling prostate issues, a bit of avocado is like oil for the engine. It smooths out the rough parts. It helps everything move better, internally and externally. And the best part? You don't need much. Just half an avocado a day can make a real difference. You can slice it on toast for breakfast, mash it into yam or sweet potatoes, blend it into a smoothie with banana and unsweetened milk, or just add a sprinkle of salt and eat it with a spoon. Simple, natural, powerful, and it's gentle too. No side effects, no surprises. Just the soft, healing touch of a fruit that's been caring for bodies long before science caught on. So if your father, husband, or grandfather is struggling with those silent symptoms, waking up too often, feeling uncomfortable or afraid to talk about it, try this. Add avocado to their plate. You won't need to convince them with big words. The taste will speak for itself. And their body? It will thank you. I want you to breathe for a second, because we've talked about 4 incredible fruits, each one with its own strength, each one offering comfort where medicine often falls short. But what if I told you that the last one, the 5th fruit, might be the most underrated, overlooked, and powerful of them all? In fact, most people throw it away without even realizing they've tossed out a natural treasure. It's small, it's crunchy, and it's not just food, it's prostate gold. Let's unwrap that secret together next. And now we've come to it. Fruit number 5. It's not flashy. It doesn't drip juice down your chin. It doesn't come in bright colors or sweet perfume. But it's powerful, ancient, sacred even. Let me tell you a story. In parts of Eastern Europe, there's a tradition that's been quietly passed from grandfather to grandson, generation after generation. It's not written in books. It's not shouted from rooftops. But it's known, deeply known. When a boy becomes a man, and then a man becomes an elder, they're told something simple. Eat your pumpkin seeds. They'll keep you strong below the belt. They weren't talking about muscles. They were talking about the prostate. Now, we don't always see seeds as real food. In fact, most people crack open a pumpkin, scoop out the seeds, and throw them away like trash. But in reality, those seeds are the medicine. The fruit is good, but the seed is sacred. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of zinc. And zinc is absolutely essential for prostate health, especially in older men. Let me break it down. The prostate gland needs zinc like a car needs oil. Without enough, the tissues become inflamed, hormone balance gets disrupted, and that leads to swelling, discomfort, and all those troubling symptoms we see. Frequent urination, weak flow, incomplete emptying. But when there's enough zinc in the body, the prostate calms down. The hormones stabilize. The urinary tract begins to function more smoothly. And the man? He sleeps better, moves better, feels more himself again. Now here's the twist. Zinc can't be stored in the body. That means we have to keep giving it regularly. And while supplements exist, the body always prefers food. Real food. Natural food. And that's where pumpkin seeds come in. They're small, but every little kernel is packed with zinc, magnesium, omega-3s, and anti-inflammatory compounds that directly support the prostate. Now, let's talk practicality. You don't need to do anything fancy. Just scoop the seeds from your next pumpkin. Wash them, dry them, then roast them lightly with just a pinch of salt. No oil, no fuss. You can store them in a jar, and every morning or evening, hand your loved one a small handful. Crunchy, satisfying, and healing. Or, if chewing is difficult, you can blend them into a smoothie, crush them into a powder, or even mix them into cereal, oats, or moi batter. They're that versatile. And yes, you can buy them too. Local health stores, supermarkets, or even some open markets now carry roasted pumpkin seeds or their local equivalents. Just make sure they're plain, unsweetened, and not drowned in processed salt. And before you doubt their power, remember this. These seeds have stood the test of time. Before pills, before surgeries, before prostate tests, there were seeds and knowledge and care passed through hands and hearts. So don't toss them aside. Treat them like gold. Because in a world full of complicated solutions, the answers are often small, silent, and sitting right in your kitchen. We've now journeyed through 5 fruits, each one unique, each one holding a special key to a stronger, healthier prostate. But this last one, pumpkin seeds, is the quiet guardian, the old friend, the final note in a song your father's body will understand better than you think. Then now, let's pull it all together. Let's talk about what this means heart to heart. Because healing isn't just knowledge, it's love in action. Let's go there, right now. Let's take a moment, you and I, to sit in the heart of this matter. Because prostate issues, they're not just a physical thing. They touch something deeper. For many elderly men, they bring shame. Not because they've done anything wrong, but because suddenly their body isn't cooperating the way it used to. He was once strong, reliable, a provider, a protector. And now, he's waking up 3-4 times a night. He's standing in front of the toilet for minutes, waiting, hoping something will come. He's canceling trips, saying no to visits. Because what if he needs the bathroom again? And let's be honest, it's not easy to talk about. Especially for men who were raised to be silent about their struggles. They suffer quietly, and that silence can feel like a slow erosion of dignity. But here's where you come in, because it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be hospitals and pills and frightening test results before you step in. You can start now, today, gently, naturally. No loud interventions, no pressure, just love served in a bowl. In a cup, on a plate. The truth is, you don't need to be a doctor to support prostate health. You don't need a medical degree. You just need a kitchen and care. Because healing, true healing, often starts with what's on the plate. What's added to the routine. What's offered with love and consistency. Tomatoes simmered into a warm stew. Watermelon shared in the midday heat. A sprinkle of berries over oats. A few slices of avocado on toast. A quiet handful of pumpkin seeds in the evening. Each one small. Each one easy to overlook. But together, they whisper something powerful. You are cared for. You are not alone. Your health matters to me. So here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Go to your kitchen. Or your local market. Pick just one of these 5 fruits. Start there. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. And sometimes, that presence comes in the form of food that nourishes more than the body. It comforts the soul. So whether you're a daughter, a son, a spouse, caregiver, you have the power to create change quietly and consistently. You don't need permission. You just need intention. And maybe you're thinking, will this really help? Let me tell you something. Even if the change is slow, even if it's small, your loved one will feel it. Not just in their body, but in their spirit. Because what you're offering them isn't just nutrition. It's a reminder that they still matter. that someone still sees them, still chooses them, still wants the best for them. And that kind of love, that kind of daily care, it's stronger than any medicine. So please take heart. You're not helpless. You're not too late. You're exactly what they need right now. Let's finish this journey together, with warmth, with clarity, and with a little hope tucked into every bite. Let's take a breath together, because we've just gone on a journey into nature's quiet medicine cabinet. And now, as we wrap up, let's gently bring it all back home. To recap, we uncovered 5 powerful fruits that do more than nourish. They protect, they restore, and they empower. First, we had the humble tomato, rich in lycopene, especially when cooked. A daily dose of warmth in every stew, quietly guarding the prostate. Then came the juicy watermelon, nature's hydration hero, packed with citrulline, boosting blood flow and easing the body from the inside out. Next, the small but mighty berries, strawberries and blueberries, full of anthocyanins and vitamin C, fighting inflammation and waking the body up with their vibrant colors. We moved into the buttery smoothness of avocado, a creamy delight rich in beta-sitosterol, supporting urinary ease and hormone balance. And finally, the unsung hero, pumpkin seeds. Tiny, powerful, filled with zinc. Not waste, not scraps, but a legacy of healing passed through generations. So here's my question to you. Which of these fruits do you or your loved ones already enjoy? Were any of them a surprise? Maybe the pumpkin seeds? Maybe you didn't know tomatoes had to be cooked? Let's talk in the comments. I'm here, and I read what you share. Because healing is a conversation, not a lecture. And if this video gave you something, a new idea, a gentle nudge, or just a little peace of mind, please give it a thumbs up. That small gesture helps others find this video. And don't forget to subscribe to channel name if you want more heartfelt, practical advice on caring for your elders, naturally and respectfully. Here, we don't chase trends. We don't sell fear. We just shine a light on the simple things. The things that work, the things that heal, the things rooted in truth and love. So thank you. Thank you for sitting with me through this. Thank you for caring enough to learn, to listen, and to take action. And remember, aging doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean fading into the background. It means adapting, growing, and yes, thriving in new and beautiful ways. Stay kind, stay informed, and above all, stay close to those you love. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.